Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today we're going to be doing a start to almost finished workshop showing you how I normally would create a clip art pack. I did one early on with, one of the previous versions, but I haven't done it with Artistly 5 yet. So it's time for me to make a clip art pack, and I just decided I'd let you watch me do it all the way up until I will not cover listing it on Etsy, but I will go through my process using my listing template and how to get it ready to put on Etsy. So let's get started, because this is probably going to be one you're going to want to stop and then come back and finish it off if you want to see how I do it from start to finish. Okay. So, and along the way, I'll tell you the different tools I can do to do the different things. Okay. So, this is, of course, the dashboard for Artistly 5, which is where we're going to be working. And I've already got a pack of clip art produced, but I am going to go in and show you how I worked with that particular image prompt inside Artistly. We're going to be doing something different today, and actually we're going to be going into I'm going to go into the number one designer, the fast designer, just because the bulk actions are here. So I'm just going to leave that there. I've already got another instance over here. Now, if we were going to, let's go back. I skipped a step. Okay. We're going to be working in Advanced AI Image Designer. I haven't done a lot of videos. I did some early on in the beginning of Artistly 5 when they just released, or actually, I think it was version 4 before they added all the extra stuff. Anyway, I'm getting confused with all these versions now. But anyway, so I did do some early ones when they changed the whole idea. I think that was version 4. But for now, let me just go back in there. We'll open it up over here. So basically, this is the bunny that we're going to be working with. And I'm going to go into my media file. Okay, since we don't go and do this a lot, as I go along, I'm just going to try to explain a few features in case you don't know how to do them. I'll try to do that quickly for anybody that is already really familiar with the Advanced Designer. But this little picture here on the side is where you'll go. It's your media library. That's where all your images go. These are folders I have created. I'm going to go down and find the one that this image is in, and then I'm just going to, one thing about it is, and I think they're working on this is a little clunky. For me, I would love to be able to download straight from this side of things. Now you have to actually click on it and say use image to actually download the images. So once you get into that, now one great thing is, as long as this is not like an edited, like if you're in fast and you click on the little pencil or paintbrush, it brings it over here to do editing. If you edit it here, it will save it here, but you're not going to get your prompt. This is sort of a later addition to be able to click on this eye, and then you can copy your prompt, and then, like, if you want to go back later and make more. So this is a prompt that I basically used my AI artist playbooks with. I don't remember exactly which one. It may have been the first one, because this is an older image set that I worked on a while back. So anyway, I'm going to paste this prompt in here. Okay, so we can just generate a new image with it. And then I'm going to show you another feature. I'm not going to get down to the nitty gritty of the developing the, so that's cute, developing your prompts, like using the the playbook, because that's the way that I come up with the prompt that I want to use. What I'm going to show you now are ways that you can tweak without having to go in and manually find where to replace those things. Now, Artistly will change things in that prompt around, but you should get basically your same image, should say somewhat consistent. And I'll show you what I mean. So, for instance, in this pack, I wanted to have the bunny, some basic bunnies, just the bunnies, flowers, that sort of thing. But I also wanted to include the bunny in a tree swing, the bunny holding balloons, the bunny, what else? Oh, holding like a kite. And then I want to include sort of like a little matching hot air balloon. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. So let me show you now what I use sometimes, not always. I'm better at, because I've been doing it so long, I guess is a way to put it. I can take the images and I can, the prompts, and I can look at it and I can go in and I can exchange the, like change certain parts of it a little bit better. But in the very beginning, when I was learning, you can use the magic wand, and what it'll do is you have to be specific with what you're requesting. So for instance, with this one, I'm going to say, keep this prompt. The bunny should be swinging in a tree swing. Okay, and then we're going to enhance it. And then we're going to generate the image. Now, it's not going to put this exact bunny, but the bunny should look to go along with our pack. There we go. Okay, perfect. So you click on it, and then now we have our little tree swing. Now, this right here is a little awkward, but that would be fine. I can see people using that image to do a baby shower or something like that. Now, important when you're working inside Artistly Advanced Designer, you want to make sure that if you like an image, like I like this one, go ahead and export it while it's already on the screen and on your canvas. Go ahead and download it. Because if you don't, then you're going to have to go all the way back through all of your, if you do like 20 images, you're going to have to go through all 20 of those, pull them back on. They've got to be on this to be able to download them right now. So workaround is just go ahead and delete. Now you can delete. I suggest that you don't delete until, if you're going to be using the same prompt over and over again, go ahead and design your next image so that it doesn't erase what's in here. So let's go ahead and do our other image, and then when it comes up, we'll go back in and we can, you don't have to, you can actually, it just bogs it down a little bit if you leave them. Like this one's pretty too. So we're going to export it. You could do 3 or 4, and then you could go back, and I wouldn't do more than about 3 or 4 images before I go ahead and start deleting those off of the canvas. But we've got some really cute images here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go back in, and we can go ahead and leave that. We're going to go back in, and we're going to say keep this prompt, but remove the tree and tree swing. The bunny should be holding a bouquet of various shades of pink and white balloons. and we're going to enhance it. So this is just another way to, like I said, work with the work with your playbooks and create the the look you want for your pack, and then go back in and you can tweak it to make your different items within your clip art pack, because you don't want to have just a whole bunch of just bunnies standing in flowers. You want to give people enough to want to buy your pack. So enough versatility, especially if you're doing commercial clip art where you think most of the people are probably going to be using it commercially to create their own things. You want to give them a reason to create, to purchase your pack. And I've had a lot of interest in more minimal clip art and art. This would fall under that sort of minimal looking bunny. It's not quite as busy. You have the more like the little dots for the eyes and everything. So we're going to do a whole video on how to get those looks. But for this one, we're just going to stick with what we need to do to move you through the pack. Now, I'm doing all this talking. This would be a much faster process for you if I weren't, doing that. This one is taking a little bit longer to generate. That's okay. I'm going to do something just in case. I'm going to go ahead and copy this prompt. And I'm going to do something else. It has not populated yet, so I'm going to click generate image again just to see if it'll go through faster this time. It may be having a little bit of a... There we go. All right, so there we have our little balloons, and it didn't do any white balloons, but that's perfectly fine. It did do the different shades of pink, so we've got that one. I've already saved it to go along with our pack, and let's do another one real quick. So we have a couple of those, and I actually do have a couple that I did before the video. So we're going to have plenty of images to work with. Okay, very cute. Okay, so now we're going to go back in and we're going to tell it to keep the prompt, but remove the balloons. The bunny should be flying a pretty kite in the pastel colors that are in the prompt, including shades of pink. The tail of the kite should have delicate bows and ribbons. Now we're going to enhance it, and it's going to place that where it needs to go inside of our prompt. We're going to generate the image. Okay, well, it's not flying and holding it, but that is also a really cute picture. So let's do it again and see if it does. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we are going to be bold and tell it to keep this prompt, but remove the bunny and the kite. Leave the flowers. not leave, but create some, let's see, a matching border of flowers that coordinate with the original prompt. And let's just see. This is a little trickier, and sometimes I have to do it a couple of times to word it just right. But what we really want is just like a little patch of flower, something without the bunny. So something that they can use when they're creating. Oh, lovely. Okay, so it actually did give us a cute little border. That's very good. Okay, so we're going to export this. And let's change the size here and then redo it so that maybe we get a few cute little borders that we can include with our pack. Yes, lovely. Let's do a couple more. Very cute. You have to remember before you regenerate to actually click on it so it moves it over and you can actually. Okay, I think we've got enough of those. So now we're going to go back in and we're going to tell it to create, or actually what we're going to do is we're going to go back in instead because it changed it quite drastically. We're going to go back into our media library and go back to our, back to here. And let's copy this prompt. And let's try this. Okay. We're going to say keep this prompt, style and colors, but remove the bunny and create a patch of flowers to go with this original prompt. So maybe it'll give us just some little patches that we can use. Yes, lovely. So cute. Okay, so we're going to do a few of those. So pretty. Let's do one more. And what's so cool about this is these things can be used separate and apart from the bunnies. These little things, but so they'll make it a real valuable set for folks. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go back in and we can say, keep the colors and style of this prompt, but create a pretty hot air balloon that coordinates with the original prompt. Okay, because we'd like to have just some little hot air balloons. And we'll see what it does. Again, this is Just like anything else, it's like a try again if you don't get what you want the first time. And I did not change the shape, so it's probably not going to do exactly right. Oh, actually, it did pretty good. Lovely. That goes right with our little bunnies. It does. Okay, so let's change the shape here. Maybe to this one. And then let's make a couple more of these to go with it. Perfect. This we could actually go in, and if you've been watching any of my videos, you know that we could go in and make that into two separate little pieces of art. Let's do one more. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be really cute to do to go along with it. Oh, yes. We'll make some papers. Okay. Keep the style and colors of this prompt, but remove the hot air balloon and convert this into a pretty floral digital paper. So we want some digital papers to go along with it, so we'll see. Not what I was looking for, so let's see. Let's change it up, but we can still use that. So let's do this and convert this into a floral pattern digital paper suitable for junk journal and to use as a background. Okay. Again, not exactly what I was looking for, but let's go back to here and we're going to go here, back to our original prompt and copy it. We're going to go here and then we're going to be pasting it. And then let's say keep the original colors and style of this prompt, but create a gingham patterned digital paper background. And let's see if we can just get, otherwise I may have to start totally over and just do something else to do the, use some papers I already have maybe. I have a pack already that would work for it. Okay, so this really did not change it at all because I didn't say remove. Okay, keep the original style and colors, remove the bunny, and convert to a digital paper with a cute and whimsical floral design. Let's say repeating floral. Well, let's see, a whimsical floral design. Okay. I probably should put floral pattern on there, but okay, that's much closer, much closer. So let's make a couple more, and I'm not gonna stay bogged down with this. I'll just use these. They're still cute. And these can definitely be dissected and used. All of these can be used to create some really cool things. So, and I have one more thing, and then we're going to move on to the Canva stage. These are pretty. Okay. So one more thing, we're going to go in and we're going to tell it to keep the style of this prompt instead of a digital paper. Convert this image into a beautiful multi-loop bow in pastel pink. Let's see if we can get some bows to go with it. And then I think we'll have enough to go in and do a really cute pack. That's pretty. Let's do a couple more. I can tell it to remove the flowers, but I kind of like the flowers. They kind of set it apart. And as you see, you can actually do it fairly quickly while you're saving and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go into is our bulk actions. Okay, so we're going to browse and I'm going to pull in our images. We've got quite a few. I'm going to do them in two different sets, okay? These are the ones we worked on. We're going to pull them in. Now, it could take a while because there's 21 images in them. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move on. I'm going to show you what I would do once they're doing them, but I'm going to show you this process and let them go ahead and be working, okay? In the background. If it takes a while, if it begins to take a good bit of time, then okay, while this is doing, I'm going to show you the old way I used to do it, okay? I use Pixel Cut, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do it this way too. This is the perfect time to do this. Okay, so I pay for a year, it's around $50. And Okay, so inside Pixel Cut, you can batch edit. You can click, and then I can select the images that I want to do. Now, I don't want to remove the backgrounds of these, so I'm going to select the ones I do want to remove. And let's see. How am I going to do this? I'm just going to show you. Let me just show you with the bunnies. Okay, I'll just start with these bunnies because these we're going to remove all of these, and I'll show you how it's going to do. How did I manage to do that? It's time to clean up my files. Okay. There we go. I do not know how I managed to do that. Oh, and here's some really pretty label things that I wanted to do. Okay. So we're going to do those. There's quite a few of them. And now it's removing the backgrounds of all of these images. Okay. It does a really good job. Honestly, it does a really good job of removing the backgrounds. And then I'm going to also upscale them. So I do love that Artistly has and let's just look. See, it's still trying to load these up. So right now, it's a lot of people are using it and it's kind of slower. So I may even go out of these rather than bog my system down. And we'll just go back in and do at the end, we'll convert them to 300 DPI. Okay. So we're just going to use Pixel Cut for these. Now we're going to download all of these. The only thing about this is, and I do hate it, is that you have to download from Pixel Cut your background removed images. You can't just automatically take it into the upscale. So I don't really like that, but it's part of the process. So what I'm going to do here is go to my downloads, and we're going to take and extract all of these. All of the backgrounds have been removed now. But as you see, they're still fairly small files because when they come out of Artistly, they're going to be smaller files. So we need to do these steps to make them the best that we can. So I'm going to go backwards here and say yes, close. It's going to take me back to this batch edit. I'm going to scroll down here and go into the upscaler. Then I'm going to go back to batch. I'm going to find my folder that I just, okay. All right, I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to pull them in, and it's going to upscale them by 4x. This takes just a few minutes, and they will be all upscaled with the backgrounds removed. And then we're going to pull them into Canva. Let's just get them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically let you watch me do part of this pack because the pack ended up being a lot larger than what I was thinking it was going to be. And so we're going to download these now. It's going to put them in a zip file, a zip folder. Now what we can do is we can go right here and we can actually open the file and extract them right straight from that screen instead of having to go in and hunt it on the download. Okay. All right, so we've done that. We're going to cancel out of Pixel Cut, and I'm in Canva now. So my next step is I go into my brand templates over here because I have things set up as brand templates. And then I'm going to find my basic brand template, and that's this one. This is how I set up my clip art to start with. So I'm going to go use this brand template. My next step is going to be to sort of name my clip art pack. So I'm going to say that this is boho bunnies. And let's do boho bunnies pink because I may want to go back and do different colors. Okay. I'm not going to really bother with this right now per se. It'll be in a few seconds we will. We're going to go over to projects now. Okay, when you go to projects, you can create a folder, and I'm going to name it boho bunnies pink. And then continue. All right, then we're going to open that folder and we are going to upload files. So now we're going to look for this one where they're all upscaled. And we're going to begin uploading those in the folder. There we go. So it is actually doing that now, and it's putting them into the folder. And I'm sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Go into our folder. Okay, so it's still loading them in, but now we have them in a folder we can work with. We uploaded them sort of in a folder so that we can access them as we're working with them, and we know that all of these bunnies are upscaled that are in here. Normally, I would create the folder and then go back in, and then I would, you actually can upload a folder instead of the individual files, and that way it's in, you kind of can have a separate name for the ones that are upscaled, but all of these are upscaled already. So that's easy to keep them apart. And I think there was around 21 images or so. Okay. All right. So now we have those. So now what we can do is we can go here and I can put boho bunnies and then remove that. I have my little logo-ish thing here, commercial use boho bunnies. And I don't know how many this is going to be, but I am going to go in and start placing. I may eventually, when I actually put this online, I may change it. I really like this concept of having the little floating bunny. So we can put it here like this. That's cute. And then I like this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to group all this and we're going to float it around a little bit until I used to try to put a lot of images on my cover image, and now I'm trying to put enough and then have this in a prominent space that has how many images are included, and have it where it's more of like you really have some images that can get some really good attention. So let's go back up and find some of our pretty, let's see. This one with the kite is really cute. So we could put it maybe right there. And let's flip it so the kite's not into the tree. Yeah, that's cute. And then we can just do one of our pretty bunnies like that. And maybe this one with the I don't think I really want to put that there. So let's do something different and more creative. Let's take this one and flip it and not even include the bunny, but just if we can just do the thing like that. Let's edit that out. Go in the magic eraser and edit the bunny out. And we can just show the I'm not crazy about that. We're just going to eliminate that. Okay, so let's go back to maybe raise the bunny up like that. Position it to the front so that his ears are in front of there. Move this one over a little bit. Move that maybe there. And then like that. And then let's do maybe this little bunny here. And maybe this one. Now, let's go back to Artistly. Or let's go to Pixel Cut. Let's go back into Pixel Cut. And I'm just going to go into the Remove Background, Batch Edit, go to the Downloads, and let's go back up to here. And let's grab these. Download them. And we're going to go back to the downloads and extract those three. Back to Pixel Cut, and let's upscale them. Okay. Grab them. Okay. Now we're going to go back into here and we're going to upload files and find those and import them. Okay. So let's remove this one and then maybe do this. Like that. Okay, so now we have something really cute. We could even take like this one and we could kind of do this if we wanted to, kind of put it in front of them, or we could use this one and just have a few little, make it smaller and have it just a few little flowers pop up right here on the edge right here, like that. Cute. Okay. Or maybe like that. Okay. So we've got this. We can change the color of this now to match by going in and grabbing the colors here. Whoops. Let's ungroup it. Okay. Now we have our circle. Go back in and make our circle match the colors in our, and then we can change this to white like that. Okay, so now we have our basic cover that we've created. So we can use this even if I go back and I'm adding other additional clip art pieces. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the way this is on top of each other. Okay, so this next page is where I start going in with my clip art. So this is how I check to make sure there's nothing bad with it. It's already had the background removed and stuff. So I can just go through here and drag my images in and make sure there's nothing that needs to be erased or anything like that. So this is how I create my pack, image at a time like that. I'm doing the bunnies right now. And you can see how quickly that can come up. As long as you're not having, you know, if you've already done a lot of your prep work ahead of time with your background removal and all, as long as it's removing them clean, then you're good. And I forgot which one. That's this one. So we've got this one and this one. And if you just sort of, you have to keep up with which ones you've done, but if you drag it like that, then it's going to fill it up pretty good. And then I like to try to keep it where I don't put them on there twice. All of these are looking like they did really well. I think I might. This one has a really funny tail, so I think I'm going to delete that one and not use it. So when I do that, I go over here and also delete it from my file because I'm going to be using these in other things as well. So let's go up and see which one we ended on. This one, the funny bunny. I call him the funny bunny. It has a very funny expression. And then we're going to drag this one. And this one. Like that. And we get our little kites. And we have all of those. Now, since Canva has changed up on us, it makes it much easier for us to do this next step. This is a 2500 by 2500 canvas that I normally do my clip art on. But up here, we have these labels and we have these that are a different shape. So now we can actually, for these, we can drag them and we can just, enlarge them and we can get it. We don't have to have the shape. So, but if we wanted to make this the same dimensions, we could. All we would have to do is go up here and we would go to, actually, we would have to go and swap it and go into it like this, and then we could resize it to the shape that we wanted. But we're going to, for making it closer to what we need, we're just going to do it this way. And then we can do this one just like this with the little labels. Okay, so I'm going to move on. I have more images to add, but this is plenty. This is, let's just say 28, which is actually, I believe, it would be 27. So it would not be 28 because our cover is in here. So we would make this and have it say 27, okay? And so everything is ready to go. When I get ready to actually download these, now this is the way I've done it forever. What I would do is I would download and I would set it to transparent background, because if you don't, it's going to use that white background, and all that removing the background is going to be for nothing. You also want to do compress the file quality. Don't ask me why, it really doesn't, but that's what you have to do. You can drag this size over to this, which is going to make them now, instead of 2500 by 2500, you're going to have images that are 7813 by 7813. Then you're going to download them. Okay, and this is what we're creating. These are in PNG, and this is going to be what my final file is going to look like. Now, you can go back in if you want to drag those images back into Artistly. You could go back in and do a 300 DPI from that if you wanted to download them at the smaller size, not dragging the thing over. Me, I kind of just think that doing it this way is just as good for me. I've never had anyone complain about the quality. It ends up being 300 DPI, and they're a little larger images. So that allows them to be, since they're being saved or downloaded as a larger image to start with, then that helps. But you could run it through and a final thing and make sure that it is a good 300 DPI. If you wanted to convert it that way, you could definitely do that. You just have to be really careful about making things so large that they can't be imported back into Canva, because at one time Canva had a limit as to the size of the art that you could upload into its system. And so this is still downloading. While that's doing it, I'm going to open another session of Canva just so we can move ahead. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to show you, basically, these are my templates. I actually sell this. We're going to go into the brand template. This would be my next step. I have to get my images in a place where I can do thumbnails for them. So I'm going to use this brand template, and it already has my squares in there. It's already done, so this saves a lot of time. I'm now going to go back into the projects. I'm going to go back into my Boho Bunnies pink pack, and I am going to start dragging my bunnies over. This will be what people see is in the pack. This is how they will see them. Okay. And you just have to be careful not to, I'm going to save that and put it with the borders. So you just drag them in. like that. You want to make sure you have all the images in your pack where somebody can see what they're getting. And I have a lot of people ask me about watermarks. I do watermark this page when I share it. I don't do the cover. But I do watermark these pages, my little thumbnails. Okay, so here we go. We're almost done with that. And like I said, I'll go back and I'll add what I need to for my pack. But okay, so then I would go back up here and then I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Hang on. I'm going to center these like this, move them around, because that's the good thing about my template is if I need to adjust the way things are, then I can do that. And I'm going to remove these, and then I'm just going to take and put these little patterns like this. Let's do this. Let's drag that one there, and then let's do them like this, up and down. And then we can kind of square them up. And this one right here, like that. Then we have the little labels, and we can take them and we can drag them down like this and put them there. And now we have that. So then what we can do is we can just, I'm going to leave this here because I'm going to come back in and do those later. So now what I would do is I would copy this. This is a little grid that I have set up. And I'm just going to paste it over the top. And then you, as you see, you really have to blow it up to be able to kind of see. But it's very faintly over as my little watermark. So it doesn't really affect people being able to see that. I would do that. Now, before I do that though, normally I will do this whole thing. I will save those images like that. Just like this. I don't do anything with that. I just save this whole thing. And I usually do name it. I didn't do that, but I usually will name it because if you don't, you'll start getting confused when you get those in there because this is going to come through as a it's going to come through in a a folder that you have to extract from. So a zip file. Okay. So we're going to go ahead over here to our downloads. And we're going to it's not quite done. Still working on that. Okay, so now we can go back and refresh. There we go. We're going to take this one and extract it. And then I'm going to show you my next step. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the brand template again, and we're going to find my idea guide. We're going to use the brand template. This would be my next step. And then we're going to go back over here to the boho bunnies. And okay, so we're selecting this current page. We're not doing any of this. We're just downloading that one image. That's our cover. And we need it to go on our idea thing. So let's go up here and we're going to do Boho Bunnies Idea Guide. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to upload. But instead of uploading in the main folder, we're going to go back to the projects and we're going to find our Boho Bunnies pack and we're going to upload our cover image right inside there so we can keep it all organized. Okay, and then we're going to drag that over there and now we have that. And through here, this is basically where we're going to put our link. This is our delivery document, but it's done in I did mine as a design guide just to kind of make it different than everybody else's. And so we can kind of go from there. So when we get done and I upload to Dropbox, I will come back and I will add my link here so that when this is the document that will be delivered by Etsy to them. And then this is my terms of use. You can work on yours. The listing one looks a little bit different than this, but it's the basic concept. And then I also have, that this is a mixed artwork because I do things to it, in the long run. Now, I changed the names here. So I will take this and put Boho Bunnies Clipart. And then I take, since there's another space for this, I copy it. And then that's some inspiration and just sort of some notes from me, some ideas on what they can do with it. We're going to come back to that after I do this. I'm going to remove this, paste this in, and then I have a pictorial image catalog that people can print out and refer back to. And this is where we're going to upload the folder that has our go back to downloads. That has the little watermarked ones. We're going to upload it. And it's going to be the folder. So this is going to show that this is our watermark. So it's going to keep it separate from those images that we used before. And when we get that done, we're going to open it and then we see our images here. We're going to drag them into place. Okay, wait a minute. Oops. Okay. And the last one we've got done, like I said, I'll go back and when I'm doing my thing, I'll change it out. Okay. Then if you have any left over, you can just, I just delete these other pages. But since I'm going to probably be using these to make the pack complete. Now we're going to go back to this little spot here. These are using Canva little mock-ups. So they're really super easy to use. Let's go here. We're going to go into these images here because all of these are our images we've used in the whole process. So we're just going to choose and drag and drop whichever ones we want where. And like for this, you can double click on it and it's going to have a fit and you can fit it to the object. So if you need to do that. Okay, so let's do that one on the pillow. Let's do this one. Oh, let's do this one on the pillow and see how it looks. That's cute. Yeah, that's cute. Let's do this one and this one. And like I said, you can double click on it and then do fit, and it will reduce it so that it works. Okay, so all those are done. I usually have 2 sheets, and you can do whichever you want. I do like the t-shirts and the different things. To me, I think this one's cute. Be cute for a t-shirt. You have to look at them to see which ones make really cute t-shirts. This one be cute for a t-shirt. And then maybe this one. Okay, so then, like I said, you would, when you are done and you have uploaded to Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever, you can then go back and you'll be saving this. You have to save it so that your link works. You will have to save it as a PDF standard. If you do PDF print, your links will not work. So that's how that works. Okay. The last thing or last step that I do as far as marketing and the listing goes is I will go back over to here, and I will go back into the brand templates, and then I look for my little video because I always like to attach a little video slideshow. So I go in and I choose this brand template, and you basically already have most of what you need. There's one thing that I do need to do. Okay, there's one thing I do need to do here, and that is you go in and you make copies of this page. So page 1, and then pages 9 and 10. So this is how I do that. Download pages 1, 9, and 10. Okay, so then it selects them. We're just doing them as PNGs. Download. And you're going to see what we're going to do with those over in here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back over to our projects and to our folder, our Bunny folder. And we're going to go and drag in our cover image. That's the first slide in our thing. We can move this down. Okay. Then we're going to go back and we're going to idea guide. We're going to extract all those. Okay. We're going to go back over here and we're going to go up to upload. Nope. Upload folder. We want to upload the folder and the documents. Idea guide. Upload it. And then we can get to these images. Okay. So we're going to drag this one here. I usually have to drag it down because it was, there we go. And then this one over there like that. And then here where it says the idea guide, we're going to grab this one and just drop it in there. And you see the little thing going round and round, and there you go. Then I already have these set up for, commercial license, how the clip art was created, and then letting them know it is a digital image. Now all you have to do is go over to share. You can go over to download. Up here, you're going to go down to MP4 video and then download that. And then that is going to give you your little video without having to go separately into, you can set this up. It's easy. It's quick. It flips really well. You can't put a lot of pages in it because they only allow for a few seconds basically for that to flip through. But whenever this is done, then that's your little video that you can use. Okay. So basically, that's it. That's kind of my process. Now, I could go back in and I'm going to show you how to go back into Artistly if you decide that you do want to go in. And let's just say you want to take your images and run them through the, let's go ahead and these are the images that were already run through Pixel Cut. So it would be the 3 export because that's the one. The first one was just the background removed, but if you want to do the upscaled ones, then we can just select which ones. I'm just going to do a few. I'm going to do like this many just to show you how to do that. If you wanted to go back in and, do that from the, okay, so that did not work. Let's see. I am, oh, okay, that's probably why. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So while that's doing that, let me just go back in and I'm going to where I had downloaded those images to show you from Canva when I downloaded the whole little pack. Let's go into the downloads and go to where the little pack is. Whoops. Okay. So this one, that's the idea guide, but copy of watermark. That's not the one. Pixel cut. I know that I downloaded that one. Let's see if it's at Boho Bunny's Clipart pack. Okay, maybe I didn't extract it. Okay, we're going to extract that one, and then I'm going to show you. There we go, the Clipart pack. Okay, so let's see. All right, let's just do this one. I'm going to go in and you're going to be able to see the reason it's against a black background is just because it's transparent. The background is transparent, and you see this is upscaled very awesome. We upscaled it, with Pixel Cut. It's good quality. Sorry. Let me try this a little better. So good quality. And so when we exported it, did it actually, let's go to the file info, and you're going to see that this is 7813 by 7813. It's 6.8 megabytes. It's 300 DPI. But when you do it like this, it's only going to be 8-bit outside of Canva. Now, that has worked perfectly fine for me for as long as I've had a shop. But now you do have the option, and that's what we're doing inside of Artistly, to before you upload to Dropbox, to take all of the images from your pack that you went through and you checked everything and you made any adjustments to it or whatever, however you want to do it, and get it there. And you do have this now that you can, upload them back to Artistly, and you can do them the 300 DPI. Can you do 300 DPI beforehand? You absolutely can. The biggest problem that I have seen with trying to drag back in, just like it's taken a long time for these to pop up in here and give us the option to do it. So I'm going to just remove those and see if it'll at least do one so you can see it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how practical it is, and I'm still working on that process to see if there's a different way I can do it. Maybe not pull it in through Canva and lay it out maybe in Affinity, or, I've used Canva so long and it is so simple until I'm not sure that having it come out as the 32-bit or whatever is really even worth it. So if you want to go through it right now, it's just it's already been upscaled, and it's taken it longer because it's a larger image. Now, let's go back into Artistly and let's just see, how that works. Let's go into this. Let's download it again. And let's just choose to not do the cover. And we're going to do transparent, but we're not going to do anything, compress it. We're just going to leave it at the 2500 by 2500. And we're going to download that pack. And we're going to see if we just do it raw from that, not try to get 300 DPI out of Canva, what it's going to end up with. Okay, so let's go back to the video is still doing. Okay, let's go back over here, and we're going to see if maybe that's the way that we should do it. Okay, that's the video. The video shouldn't have been like that. Oh, I was on the wrong page. I'm so sorry. I've got so many things opened. Let's go back to our bunnies here. This is our bunny pack. Okay. All right. No wonder that didn't work right. Okay. So let's go into here. We're going to just deselect that one. We're leaving it here just like we did before. And let's do this. Let's only do one image. That way we don't have to. Let's do the current image. No, not the current page. Let's go to a page. Let's go to this one. And then download. And we're going to go to current page. So we just do one just as a sample, a test run, to see then if it would go into Artistly a lot quicker and then what our output will look like. Okay. So now we're going to just go back to the top and make sure we get that one. Okay. So while that is loading that one image, see, it did it fairly quickly. Okay. So now let's go back up here, and we're going to double click on it. Okay. So this one, we didn't do transparent background, remember? So we didn't click for it to stay with the background removed. So we would need to do that, because especially if we hadn't already run it through Artistly to get the background removed. If we want the background removed, we have to do it. We're just trying to see what kind of output. So we're going to go into the file. So you see that out of Artistly at that size, it only comes out 96 DPI, but it is 32-bit. So it's a higher quality, but just at the 96 DPI, which we need 300 DPI. So if we go back into Artistly and we run our bulk action, see that actually uploaded. The reason it was having problems before was because your file was too large and it took a long time. It would have gotten there, but it's going to take a lot more time. So this may be the key to getting your 300 DPI. Now, your size may be the 2500 by 2500, so that's going to limit, like how big, but it's going to be good quality. So now what we're going to do is click the plus, and we're going to actually remove the background on this one because we didn't click for it to be transparent out of Canva a few minutes ago. We're going to click again, and then we can go ahead and do upscale image and only upscale. And then we can do the 300 DPI in a batch. Okay, so that's all we need. We're going to go to build action. We're going to do test, build, and then we're going to see what it comes out as. Now, if you're doing a lot of them, it's going to take a lot longer. Now, this is a key thing. When it pops up like this, it has still not finished. Until this says that it's finished, it's not. So right now it's removed the background. It is upscaling the image, and we can just watch it since we've kind of gone through everything else. We can watch it to see as it moves through its process. But the thing about this is when you get to this step, you can go and do other things. You could go be, posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you want to be doing while this is doing. I found that actually it's probably going to seem like it's taken a long time for one image, but in my experience, it depends on the time of day that you're doing it. If there's a lot of people also using that feature, it can be a little bit slower, and they actually even tell you up there that it can take longer on those things. But it is bulk, and it can do it all by itself. So it's not something you have to be physically involved in once you set it up to do the bulk processes. So if you work that into your routine, you can make that work. I have found that it's doing a really good upscale and really good 300 DPI. The background removal is working pretty good. I think it has really improved. And I'm just going to go through here. Okay, so actually, that was not the thing to do. It probably did it a lot faster, and I just did. So now it says private on it, so that has done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to download this image. We're going to open it up like we did before. And it says Artistly. So we're going to double click it. And we see it did a really good job of removing the background. You see it's done pretty good. There's a little bit of white there, little white there and there. I still think it's almost there with the background removal. You just have to watch it. So, but if we had gone through our Canva process and we had clicked transparent when I downloaded, I said we didn't have to do that, but I kind of forgot about the background. I get kind of caught up when I'm doing the videos. But let's see now by file info. Okay, so now we have, it actually did upscale it to 4096 by 4096. Good size. It almost pretty much doubled we had 2500, so very close to doubling the upscale. It's 5.2 megabytes. It's 300 DPI at 32-bit. So it's going to be that better quality. And I'm not sure. I think I hit the wrong one. There we go. Let's go back to it. So that tells you that it did what it was supposed to do, and it's good quality. Okay, so I'm going to try something else with you just for the sake of just experimentation. We're going to go back in and we're going to go straight, like not not do anything through Canva, but straight through our folder from Pixel Cut, where our images were upscaled already and that sort of thing. And we're going to find our folder. Let's go back in here to the bulk actions and let's try it again. And I had to do the transparent before, but let's see about the going straight from our folder where we had upscaled the 4 times. With Pixel Cut, let's see, that would be this one. We're just going to pick out one to test. We're going to do this one. Okay, so this one has been the background removed and the upscale already done in Pixel Cut, but we didn't take it into Canva. Okay. I have a theory, and I'm not sure about that. Now, this one has been upscaled to that 4x, and that's why it's taken so long. Okay, let's try it a different way. Let's go in and let's do it without the upscale from Pixel Cut. I think that's what I was wanting to do. So in that case, we would be basically just choosing prior to Pixel Cut, just straight out of Artistly. Okay, so we have this. And let's just try removing the background, upscaling it, and doing the 300 dpi. Okay. Okay, so it hasn't done yet. Hasn't finished. It is a lot quicker if you're not watching it. Okay, so now it's done all of it. So now we're going to download it straight from Artistly to see about the quality straight out of Artistly so you can compare. Okay. So background removal still, wait a minute, this is not even the bunny. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so it did pretty good with the background removal. There's a little touch there. Oh, actually, I think that's part of it because it's there too. Okay, so it did pretty good with the background removal. And the quality seems much better that way. So, you may end up doing your actual images that you're going to be selling straight from Artistly. You would still have to be able to open them up some way and check the backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. But you may end up doing them this way if you're happier with that, because basically this is the 300 dpi, 4096, and 32-bit. But it does look like there was not as much blurring as maybe coming through and then running it through from Canva. So I'm not sure that you want to do it. You probably need to stick with one way or the other. Either do it my old process at the 8-bit, or if you want the 32-bit, then you may run all your images through, double check that their transparency is good. Or another alternative that you could do is you could potentially run it through, let's just say, run your images through Pixel Cut only for the background removal. Let's see how that works. If we pull in the AI bulk action and we go through and we go down to just from Pixel Cut, using it to remove the backgrounds, that would have been the first Pixel Cut one. And let's grab this one, this bunny here. Okay. So background's been removed from this one, and then we're just going to be upscaling it and converting to 300 dpi and see how that goes. Just gonna create this build and see what it does. Okay, it's still processing. I'm gonna clip out of that and just see what it does. It's converted it and done both of it, so it's private now. We're going to go to download it. And then we're going to go over and we're going to double click it. Let's make sure that that's the right one. It is. Okay. Let's double click it. Now see, we've got the beautiful background removal from the image that we worked with. Let's see, the file info is 300 dpi at 32 bit. So anyway, just another way to do it. Looks good. So you'll just have to figure out which process, and you may even do all your upscaling and your 300 dpi. You may do that somehow differently, but this is just, I just wanted to pop you in and show you kind of a little bit how to go from the very beginning of, concept, work through those prompts, show you how to use the magic wand inside the advanced dashboard here, the advanced designer, and explain that a little bit to you, how to work with that. And I think we put together a really nice little pack. I've got to go and finish it now. If you have enjoyed the video, please like it, share it, and leave me a comment. If you have questions, if you have ideas for videos you'd like for me to do, please leave that in the comments. I do right now try to still answer, those comments if I can. And also down in the description, you'll see my link for Artistly, my affiliate link. You can use, there is a code currently at the top for 10%. Use that code. You have to plug it into the order form. But you can also save the 10%. If you're buying Artistly, you can still use my link and help it support the channel and support me. And also there are links to all of the playbooks. There you can buy, if you're in the EU, you can buy them through Gumroad. You can buy the Junk Journal playbook through Gumroad. All the rest of the playbooks are all available on Etsy. So you can choose where you want to purchase them. And also you can join my Facebook group. We'd love to have you. It's free. You can also join my newsletter. It's a once a week newsletter. I cover marketing and creation in the newsletter. So it's a nice little motivator each week. And Thank you so much for watching. We just hit, prior to this video, I just got an announcement that we just hit, we're actually over, a little over 2,000 subscribers. Thank you all for watching and subscribing and sharing and helping my channel grow. And I do appreciate it. So until next time, happy creating.